Are you ready to break the chains of poverty over your life? Well, the doctor has the remedy. The book, The 10 Commandments to Black Economic Power, is here right now, written by the People Scholar, finance PhD, Dr. Boyce Watkins. Also, buckle your seatbelt because summer 2023 B1, the movie, is about to launch. You definitely don't want to miss that. And here's what you all been waiting for. The All Black National Convention is making a stop in Atlanta. That's right, we coming to the A, October 2023. Make sure you go to boycewatkins.com to get your tickets, or we'll have the link in the description. 50 Cent, man, was at a concert in LA. And it appeared that he got aggravated. I don't know if it was because of technical difficulties, but at a point in time, as caught on camera, he hurled a microphone. And this microphone hit Power 106 host Bryhana in the head. Now, one thing I was hearing is that she wasn't supposed to be in this restricted area. But nevertheless, the pictures are out there. She got hit in the head, and it's a pretty big gash. Now they're saying that 50 Cent possibly could be a suspect in a criminal battery report, which is you throw something, you hit somebody intentionally or not.
Battery.
Yes, battery. You know what I mean? So what's your thoughts on this whole situation, man? It's going pretty crazy right now in the news.
Well, the way they word it sounds a lot more violent and disrespectful than what it really was. I don't think any criminal charges are going to be brought up on 50 Cent for doing it, but 50 Cent's about to come out his wallet pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Because it's on camera. It's everywhere now. It's seeing him throwing it with very, very strong aggression, to say the least. And you knock somebody upside the head, and you put a pretty bad gash on him. I'm sure that he's probably feeling that now, feeling bad about the situation, because we've all seen frustration. I mean, we just seen Cardi B get a little water thrown on her after she was asking the crowd to throw water on her, and she hurled a mic at somebody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We've seen many a situation where people get mad at their technical crew or staff, and they throwing temper tantrums, whatever the case may be. You're trying to put on the best show for the fans. That's your brand out there. That's your reputation on the line, so you want to put on the best show. But at the same time, you just did this in front of millions of people, and then those millions of people sent it to other millions. So it just don't look good, and there's no way around it. We know 50 don't play in court. 50's record in court is impeccable, probably one of the best records we'll ever see in sports. Whatever the case may be, 50's court record's up there with one of the greats. But he's going to take an L on this one.
Yeah, it's no, and then we don't know if the woman's going to press charges yet, but I can guarantee you she's going to press charges, because that's probably going to be a prerequisite of her, you're getting the money. Either way, she's going to get paid, I think, whether she press charges, whether, whatever. And I'm sure everybody knows that it was an accident, but she going to get paid. And I think she deserves to get paid. You know what I mean?
She's going to come into court with the wheelchair and the neck brace on. And
oh, yeah.
She's going to come in there fucked up.
Yep.
Get that money. But what you say, my bad?
And then you never know what people, go through in that situation. You get cracked in your head with a mic, her shit split. It could be emotional turmoil, mental. You just never know. We could sit up here and be like, oh, she's trying to get the bag. But he probably should have never threw it in the manner that he did, especially with people being in that area.
He cracked her skull.
Yeah, it's bad. It's not like a little.
Cracked her shit.
Yeah.
That's concussion. You know what I mean? Who knows if she needs surgery? Who knows if her eyes are damaged? He cracked her shit. He made a mistake, man. It's going to cost him.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't think he's about to go to jail. I don't think she's going to take it that far. But I think a nice settlement will heal some wounds.
I wonder how much. I'll say at least a couple $100,000.
Yeah.
At least.
I'm going to aim high and see what the fuck happens.
Man.
But yeah, he's going to come out the pocket. I think it'll make it quick. I don't think 50 going to fight this one. Why deal with the courts and lawyer fees and all that stuff when this is pretty cut and dry, man? If the number ain't too astronomical, y'all can come up with an agreement to save lawyer fees and court costs and all that. I know that's what I would do. And I'm not saying that this ain't a situation where homegirl's trying to railroad him or extort him or anything. He bust her head with a microphone. Right. Albeit at an accident, he did it. So, hey, man, you got to pay up, bro.
Whatever happened with... Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Whatever happened with Game? Because, Game is jumping in this clowning 50. Whatever happened with 50 Cent in Game, man? What did they ever go wrong?
Oh, man. Whew, we're taking it back. I don't know. I think when I looking back on that and being such a fan of G Unit at the time and Game at the time and Game and G Unit together, I think it was an arrogant situation. I really do. I think it was an ego thing. I think that Game comes from the West Coast. You know what I mean? Gets put in the G Unit. He's one of the hottest things fucking smoking. He's feeling himself. 50 also one of the hottest things smoking. And I just think you got two egos clashing, and it just played out bad on camera.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's what I think too, man. At the end of the day, you know, I'm not gonna say that 50 made them, you know what I mean, but he gave them an opportunity, and they thrive with that opportunity.
Hell yeah.
You know, it's just sad that none of these groups, these iconic groups from the late 2000s or late 90s, early 2000s, and mid 2000s, none of them really, I think, reached the potential that they could. Even like Rockefeller, you know what I mean, where it could have went. I don't think and they did a lot. I'm not saying, but like, look at all Rockefeller had, and when they split, it just like it went downhill.
You think of all those groups from our era, right? So let's Rough Riders, Rockefeller, Dipset, Terror Squad, Murder Inc. There was always one that kind of shined,
Right?
And still kind of stood the test of time.
Yep.
What does that say? Was it always that one to begin with? Did the team help that one? Because even followed by that one came jealousy, envy, and some sort of
Yeah.
you know what I mean, turmoil within. So I mean, even all right, I'll give you a Fat Joe for an example. Terror Squad did his thing, but wasn't the baddest lyricist, wasn't the face of Terror Squad. It was Pun. Pun's gone. Fat Joe's here, thriving better than ever, survived, still, you know what I mean, repping Terror Squad, but it's nothing to be found of that. What do you think about that dynamic?
I think that sometimes a talent don't matter all the time. I think whoever could be more savvy at business, who could make the better songs and stand the test of time. You know, and it's not kind of not fair in the situation because Big Pun passed away. But like, let's just look at, you know, with Jay-Z, a situation with Rockefeller. Like, it's clear that, and I'm not trying to take nothing away from Dame and Big. It's clear that he was a superior business mind. You know what I mean? That he had, you know, bigger aspirations than that. And once that situation was ended, he continued to evolve. He continued to expand his brand to a multi-billion-dollar brand. And the same thing with Fat Joe. When that situation was over, people were talking about that he took Pun's rhyme book, and that was Pun's rhymes. And he made some hits after Pun died. As much as we want to sit up here, even Diddy, after that situation, Biggie gone, okay, yeah, I'm still going to reinvent myself and move to this industry. And yeah. So it's just like, you know, I think it's both. I think that, you know, when Rockefeller was hot, when Bad Boy was hot, they got hot-ass people around them. But it wasn't going to stop them, whether those people made it or not. It wasn't going to stop Diddy. It wasn't going to stop Jay. It wasn't going to stop none of these people, Irv, whoever, from reaching where they needed to reach later on in life. You know what I mean? And I just wish I would have seen more. But hey, sometimes things just happen and it runs its course, you know, for a reason. But I tell you this, all them dudes from State Property, I ain't gonna say that they eating crazy, but they still, you know, out there doing shows and shit 25 years later from that situation.
Exactly.
Yep.
You know how to hustle. You created a brand and a name for yourself, and you can still go out there and make money. That's all I'm saying sometimes when it comes to these labels and kind of putting a button on a whole podcast. Sometimes these artists and the dynamic between the artist and the company is more than what we know.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And maybe those ones that were sitting behind the scenes and now we see in the front row, that business acumen was just a little tighter and a little stronger than the stars that may be out in front of it. Outside of a Jay-Z, because obviously Jay-Z was the star, and then he had the business acumen to go ahead and take that to another level. But he's one in a million.
Did you hear about Irv Gotti, who's pretty much saying about the whole situation that like Jay-Z was really like the mastermind and like Dame was along for the ride?
Yeah, I heard that.
What do you think about that? That's wild, boy. Woo!
Those are some that's smoke right there.
Yeah.
And without going with it, he said it without saying it. He was like, yeah, no, he went along for the ride. I don't know Dame and Irv's relationships. I know they were cool. I know they gave tough love and stuff like that. I know they had some business things that didn't go the way that they wanted it to. But I give Dame a little more credit than I think Irv will.
Yeah.
I give Biggs a little more credit. Yes, Jay was the star. Jay is the one that has seemingly won now when you look at how successful he is, but I'm going to give Dame way more credit than that, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was in those board meetings going head to head with some of these labels. He was putting on the shows. He was doing things. He was setting shit up. It's more than just the artist, and Jay-Z needed help in those situations because not one man could do that by himself. So I'm going to give Dame more credit than Irv.
Then we can remember that iconic interview in the Breakfast Club, right? In particular, when he was talking to DJ Envy, and he was kind of saying like, and, you know, Envy got money and all that.
Yeah.
He got money, but it's still a difference than when you own something. That's what he was trying to get people to understand. I think that's the part that he even played in Rockefeller when he was talking about he was going at it with Def Jam and shit like that. Like, nah, you need us. We don't need you. He was really trying to bang that home. Like, even with his little network, even though it proverbially failed at this point, the Dame Dash network that he was trying to put up, still the concept of it is like, okay, I get it. You trying to make your own Netflix. You trying to make your own Hulu. Okay, that's dope. You know what I mean? It's going to be hard to do because they're such giants. Right. And they got so much of the market share. So I just think Dame brought that aspect more so. I think Jay-Z was moving more in the corporate direction. And it was like, all right, I'm going to get my millions, but I'm going to get it like this. And there's nothing wrong either way, I think. But ownership and control is what you want. And I think Jay-Z accomplished that too as well. He has ownership and control, you know, of a lot of companies he deals with. So I think two different ideologies. I think when they came together, it was magic. Even with Biggs, a lot of people don't talk about Biggs. That was magic too. But I can't say that he was just along for the ride. I think he was just as much a part of that success of Rockefeller as any one of those three were.
Yeah.
I think it was a team.
I agree.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Definitely.
That's all I got.
Yeah, that's all I got too, man. Another episode of the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. One more thing, man. Where'd I have that shit at right there? What's my man's Bun B?
Okay.
He was saying that he feels like artists in Houston get treated better than artists in LA, in New York. Meaning like the OG artists. Like they get a better reception, get treated better, more like royalty, as opposed to New York and LA counterparts. How you feel about that?
They get treated like royalty in their area, or
in their
just
area, yeah.
Agree, 100%.
Yeah,
because Houston's is different, man. I told you about it. I've been talking about it ad nauseum since I was out there in March, man. It's a different vibe. It's a different situation now. I know that a lot of people in Houston in the music scene were speaking on how there's not a lot of number one hits coming out of Houston now. That's because they set the bar very high, and they expect greatness out of their artists. And as of late, they really haven't seen that greatness. But as a whole, when you talk about the OGs, I mean, when I went to Houston, there was in the airport going down the escalator, there was a picture of UGK sitting in the fucking airport.
Wow.
Like, I'm talking about, you got the governor, you got the senator, you got UGK, you got one of the Houston Astros. Like, they are revered.
Right.
In Houston. The respect level is different. Now you see a lot of these artists opening up businesses down there, and we don't see much drama going on down there because it's love. Right. It's different, but I agree 1,000%. From being out there and experiencing and feeling it, I agree 1,000%.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think in the North, they only get that love when they get murdered or killed or die.
Dang. So true.
Yeah, it is what it is. That's the truth about it. The South, they have a way of taking care. You know, you got a guy like Slim Thug or, you know, any one of those artists, they can make a living. They have made a living just in their area. You know, they have their core fans. Slim Thug could put something out. They could have 10 or 20,000 people that's going to support him off rip in that area, whether it be a mix, whatever he wants to do. They're going to, you know, support it and keep him flourishing. Up here, I think you could have certain situations where that happens, but then you got certain situations where that doesn't happen. You know what I mean? I think it's more times it doesn't happen than it does. How can somebody have 5 million, 10 million followers, you know, and sell 1,000 records? Yeah. You know what I mean? Or like, it's crazy. It's crazy. But the guy down south, he ain't got all that. Nope. But he's going to have a higher percentage. He might have 300,000 followers, but he's going to have a higher percentage, maybe 15, 20,000. Those people are going to rock with him. They're going to buy whatever. If he puts a shirt out tomorrow, they're buying it. If he puts some music out, they're listening. Yep. It ain't always like that. You know what I mean? Up
you
north.
Put a show out, 3,000-4,000 going to show up.
There you go.
And you pack out an 800-person space with 3,000-4,000 people, that bitch look like Madison Square Garden. So they know how to get the support. They know how to show the love. It's different, man. It's so different. I can't even put a word on it. You just got to be out there and experiencing it. And I guess the best way you could do it is just look how it works out in the East Coast, like you said, or look how it works out West. It's different type politics for whatever reason. I wish it was different because we'd be winning too. There's artists out in Houston, there's artists out in Louisiana right now that got 3,000-4,000 followers that are eating because those 3,000-4,000 followers are buying their music, buying their merch, watching their shit, sharing their shit amongst their own circle, amongst their own network. And it's enough for them to eat. $1 a CD, 3,000-4,000 people, you done made $3,400 for a cent. It's math. It's simple math, man, and they're very good at it.
Man, I be wondering how these dudes be surviving. I'm like, man, but they got that core following that's gonna rock with them.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They ain't gonna just bootleg your music or whatever the case. Now they're gonna purchase or buy and, you know, like you said, show up to the shows and get the merch and things like that. So, yeah, man. I know the people in the South is getting tired of us North people moving down there, though. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
But especially if we going down there corrupting, we better go down there and assimilate to what they got going on. Don't bring that bullshit North shit down there.
Adapt to them, exactly. And I know Atlanta's probably getting pissed off because a lot of people are doing it down there. And at least Texas is fucking huge.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to change that big-ass state. But Atlanta, that shit getting swarmed right now.
Everybody know, like, people say in Atlanta, everybody's not from Atlanta.
I guarantee
people from Jersey, New York, everywhere else. You know what I mean? So, but it was a good place to move to, still is. You know, even though the prices are getting high, it's, you know, the South is really where it's at, man. So
100%.
yeah, we all come from there anyway. So at the end
That's
of the
where
day,
we dropped off
family.
at. Yeah, right.
You know but yeah, man, another episode of the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast is in the books. We definitely appreciate each and every person listening, you know, to the show today. Yeah, that's Brother Sam Ant, Viral Hip Hop News. I'm your brother, Oh God, Hip Hop News Uncensored, together with a Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. Over and out.
Peace.